I think the only thing we gotta do in this life is learn how to master anxiety and stress. The biggest thing that is standing in our way, it's a mental limitation, it's a mental block. It's constantly going with us into every single opportunity that we have. And it's holding us down. It's keeping us from actually reaching our full potential, actually becoming who we desire to be. And the first shift that I made that changed absolutely everything for me. And if you don't do this, you can't do anything. You have to realize that there is hope to overcome your anxiety. There are ways besides medication to handle stress. It is possible, but it requires the belief that it is possible. The minute we go run to numb ourselves from our anxieties, when we go run to things that numb ourselves from our anxieties, we're just going further and further away from reaching our full potential. We gotta face and attack this problem at some point in our lives. Because I've seen way too many adults, full-blown adults, that go through their whole lives just accepting their anxiety. They haven't taken the time to observe themselves, to master themselves. So the earlier that you do this, the faster you can actually start to show up how you want. Anxiety keeps us in a time loop. We're constantly living out the same life over and over again. We're not evolving. We get anxious in situations that we can't control or predict. We shy away from opportunities that might push us to expand our limits and get out of our comfort zone. And then we stay stagnant. We stay where we are. Anxiety is trying to keep us comfortable. Getting out of our comfort zone, making new decisions, going against our ingrained habits is scary, and all the mind wants is control. We feel better, we feel relief when we have control, but really we don't ever have control. It's the illusion of control. And all we're doing when we're trying to control things is we're keeping us trapped in cycles of familiarity. I was just thinking last night, I was thinking back to a decision that I had made months ago that now I'm super happy that I made it, but at the time, while I was thinking about doing it, I was scared, I was questioning it, I was afraid of the unknown. I knew that it would push me past my limits. It was something that I had never done before. And my first initial reaction was, no, don't do it, stay safe. But when we look back, we're always so happy that we pushed out of our comfort zone. And that's what starts to build confidence. And each time we have the courage to push ourselves to make new decisions, to do something new, to get out of our comfort zone, we actually shift the timeline that we're on. If you do the same thing every day, every month, every year, you stay on the same timeline. When you make a new decision, when you put yourself in an uncomfortable situation, when you meet new people, when you do new things, you actually create a timeline split. Instead of going one direction, you start to create new realities, new possibilities. And we evolve much faster when we have the courage to do something new, to dive head first into the unknown instead of shying away from it. We regain so much power, so much energy that was previously lost when we can stay calm, when we have created a state of calmness and presence within ourselves in the midst of chaos. All this chaotic stuff can be going on outside of us, but we have created an unbreakable state of calm within ourselves. We have mastered and taken control of our internal state. And we start to break down those self-created barriers that are really holding us back from our potential. Rewiring the fake stories that we're subconsciously telling ourselves that we're making up as to why we can't do what we really want to do. The biggest mental shifts that helped me heal anxiety were, one, not taking life so seriously anymore, allowing myself to mess up, remembering that I'm gonna die someday, and all this stuff that I was placing so much importance on isn't gonna matter, realizing that no one is actually paying that much attention to me, paying attention to my flaws, they're not paying attention to what I'm wearing, how I look, what I'm saying, they don't really care that much. Everyone's paying attention to themselves. Everyone cares about themselves. And the second thing is constantly practicing keeping my focus in the present moment. I'm always observing when I find my focus floating off into the future, creating future scenarios that haven't happened, that probably won't even happen. And then I consciously return my focus back to the now. Yeah, I still get anxious impulses, but I'm controlling my reaction to the anxiety. I'm not feeding into it and creating like an endless cycle of just getting more and more anxious and more overthinking. I'm stopping it. I notice it, I accept it, and I don't fight it, and then I return my focus back to the present. And when a trigger of anxiety or stress comes up, I don't just push it down, but I'm trying to analyze it. I'm trying to figure out, why is it happening? I might have an unresolved conflict in my consciousness. I might have a trauma that I'm continuing to live out years after it happened and I haven't worked through it yet. I might be scared of the unknown. I might be scared of feeling unworthy. I might feel like I don't have control, but I just gotta let all of that go and remind myself that I don't have to worry. When we realize that we are the awareness above the thoughts, we are not our thoughts. We don't have to identify with our anxieties. We are actually the awareness above our thoughts. When we enter the flow state, when we enter the space of like nothingness, where our mind is quiet, where time speeds up, that is our true awareness. Just existing is our true awareness. Worrying about all this other shit that doesn't matter is not our true selves. And they're all just mental blocks. And the sooner that we work through those, the sooner we free ourselves to live the life that we want. Hope this video helped. Peace.